Dun dun dun, and we're on.
All right. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Dad Jokes. Sorry about last week. It was a little under the weather there. I was. Um, and just as a heads up, next week we are also not streaming. We have one of us that's going to be out of town, so we're not going to stream. Senior will be joining us eventually. He has got some
Who's
things
out
to
of
do.
town?
Senior.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he'll be joining us in a little bit. Hopefully sooner rather than later tonight. But yeah, he will be out of town next week, so we're not going to stream. At least, especially not this campaign. But I don't think we're gonna. I think we're gonna take the week off. So that's just a heads up. Because of that, we're taking off next week. Rhonda, you have some conventions coming up.
Saturday the 13th of July, I will be in Frankfurt at the Capitol Plaza Hotel for Frankfurt Con. I'll be running table all day. It is from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. And then on Saturday or on Sunday, July the 14th, I will be at the Triple Crown Pavilion in it's actually in Jeffersontown, which is part of Louisville, for the Louisville Anime Fest. I'll be running a table there all day from 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. So come on out and see me, one or the other, or both days. So I'm okay with that.
All right. We're moving and shaking. Keep an eye on our website, danddadjokes.com, for any updates of events and things that we will be at. So yeah, and come and see us at one of them. Be fantastic. Uh, Anything else?
Uh, if anybody was curious, all of our social links are in the descriptions of each of our videos. So,
That they are.
And I
Come.
try to update them every week, although sometimes I just don't have anything to put on them.
Sorry.
I'm going to
But
just start chatting with everybody.
I mean, why not? All right.
that works.
Come, check it out. Check out our social medias and like, subscribe to our YouTube. If you're not subscribed, you should be subscribed. All right. That brings us to tonight, which is episode 74. And the title for tonight is Back to the Beginning. So, what happened last week?
Week
Last
before
week.
last.
Sorry,
For
the week
last.
before last. What happened last session?
Yes, there we go.
In the morning, just before sunrise, a servant wakes Fix to inform him of a visitor, Rowlett, a high priest of the Order of Balance, who has arrived for Kadeth. He shares with the group what is needed in order to create an item that could protect its wearer from dominating blood magic rituals. Uh, just transit blood and Carcerian horns are two things that are required for this enchantment. Learning that these creatures are not native to the material plane, Rowlett shows where there are rifts to other planes. Fix and Kadeth later travel to Fennels to see if he will send a message to Manoverin, the planeswalker from Shaji. Fennel is able to connect to Manoverin and he arrives shortly thereafter. He shares that distransits get caught between planes and can blend into the environment surrounding a rift. In order to get their blood, though, they must be alive in order to do so. He confirms the closest rifts are in the Black Riage Mountains, at Mount Zanlis and Hidden Naresh. The group meets up eventually at Crown's Tavern to check in with Gidna and to meet up with Forsyth. When asked about the scarab, Gidna admits that she would be willing to take it back. However, for some reason, she does tell Fix to just hold on to it for now. While waiting for the evening to come, Evangeline decides to draw another picture in her with her special ink. As she finishes up the image, it has a strong resemblance to Kadeth, though a bit older and no scar on the face. He is carrying a darkened blade, which is a twin, it looks like a twin to Kadeth's sword. She moves in closer and gets a very good look at a skeletal hand sitting on his shoulder and feels some really negative energy from black horns that appear to be at his feet. When everybody does return to the estate, they gather in Fix's quarters to pull out the storm painting. One by one, you step through the painting and find themselves in the carriage house. A violent storm is picking up momentum just outside, causing an extreme amount of noise and chaos. With TTC as a guide, they sneak through the side entrance and get a brief layout of the keep's first floor. They decide to affix one of Kadeth's crystals onto a chandelier inside the throne room and make their way out quickly. Just as they get back to the carriage house, you hear the northwest corner of the keep collapsing. Ignoring all the cries, they step back through the portal and into Fix's room. I do believe there was some discussion that Kadeth does want to visit Irwin. He has some information that he'd like to discuss with Irwin, and that is in Thrice. And Thrice is on the way to Hidden Naresh. So I do believe that was the plan of action that you all had discussed.
I believe so.
I will take your word for it because I don't remember.
You know, when we miss a week, you can always go back to the last session and watch the last 20, 30 minutes of it.
That would be if I had the time to do so.
You could have read the notes, but I haven't put them in yet because I haven't printed them out yet.
Although they are on a shared Google Doc for D and Dad Jokes, our email.
You think I know how to read?
Well, you know, one would hope. All right, it is evening at the estate.
And just in case you forgot your name, it's right there on your screen.
Yeah, can't read that either. I'll just go by Jim, okay?
Jim. All right. It is evening at the estate, the Trinson estate. Um, I assume that you will probably head out in the morning. You have multiple options on how to travel at this point. You have Fennel, who will teleport you places. Evangeline has gone back to the Order a couple of times, so you have the Order of Truth. But you also have the Order of Balance, Kadeth's Order. So your method of travel is up to you. And when? Do you want to head out tonight or first thing in the morning?
If we go to Thrice, we probably can stay at one of the orders there. Or we could stay here and just start in the morning fresh. Let's see. I pick.
It sounds like it's your call right now.
We had talked about going to the Order or going to Thrice. So
I think that we should go to Thrice to the Order of Balance because I think Kadeth has some questions,
probably.
and I have a picture.
Fine by that.
You want to hop in this evening or first thing in the morning?
Let's go tonight.
But before we do anything, what was the range on these crystals?
Within the city, essentially.
It is a scrying. So
Oh,
scrying
those
is the
crystals. Sorry, the
plane.
crystals.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was.
So
Yeah, no,
same
the
plane.
crystals are the same plane.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going on and make sure it's working.
All right. So you
It
sit down
has
with
been several hundred years.
Well, and make sure they weren't accidentally destroyed, moved.
Stolen.
Otherwise, you're gonna have to go on a crystal hunt.
Bef- over the mental link, before you activate it on our side, use detect magic, see if they're using it, if they found it and started using it against us. Because it would be active
Oh, that's
magic.
right, because we've got it set to where it's not. Okay, yeah. So I'll do that.
Okay. It looks inert.
Well,
Because not detectable unless it's being used.
Right.
Correct.
Which also means we need to be careful when we use it.
Yes.
So, obviously, I'm only going to do this in somewhere where it's just the four of us.
All right. Easy
But
enough. Any of your quarters is private enough.
but I'll activate it.
Okay. You activate it. It takes a moment to connect. It's kind of real fuzzy for a little bit. It's fuzzy long enough that you begin to wonder if it's going to connect. But soon a picture clears up and you do indeed see the throne room. It appears to be looking down into the throne room from above. You believe that it has not been moved from the chandelier. You watch for a little while. It's quiet. There's nothing in there. You hear some noises every so often out in the hall, just people passing and whatnot. After a little bit, you will see a servant come in. Seems to be doing just the standard, like cleaning, making sure that the throne room is in order, and um, you know, nice guests or anything like that. Um, After a little bit of time, she also leaves. That servant. You don't recognize the servant. That's nobody of import. It's not any of the major players in Gara's estate. Um, and it is quiet.
Ow.
Well,
You watch for what, 10 minutes, I think it is? 10 minutes?
yeah.
And nothing seems to be going on right now.
All right. Well, we'll turn it off, and at least now we know that it's working. We know it's still in the right place, so we can utilize
Bye,
it
bye.
more later.
All right. So you gather yourselves together to teleport to Thrice.
yep.
Who are you using?
We only have Fennel. Treve left, right?
We can go
Roy,
through
they
the order of
left.
balance,
Or that, yeah, that.
and or probably the order. We can go through the order of truth as well.
Hmm.
Evangeline will tell Fix we can use the order of truth. It is safe. Especially with my newfound connection. I'll just smile.
Yeah. Um,
Because I didn't tell Fix or Cadeth other than one thing, and they probably don't remember.
like I said, it's been like 2 weeks and a day right now. Like this week has been hell, so I don't remember half of anything. So if you want to remind me what you said, great. Otherwise, yeah, I'm lost.
I don't remember what you said.
I told you that I have been to the City of Bridges.
Oh, yeah,
Right.
that's right.
But you tell us who you had met there.
I told you you knew I was going to see the Amber Pope.
Gotcha. Yeah. As much as I trust your connection, I don't trust that the people working for him are not trying to get something over on them. But we have made connections at this one with multiple people, so I'm fine with going with anybody. Um, late night escapades, I'm more apt to call on the old man who doesn't seem to sleep. But it's morning, so I'm good with
Actually, it's
whoever.
still night.
It's still night,
Oh,
actually.
oh
It's
God.
still
Yeah.
evening.
Yeah, you guys decided to go at night, or at least Evangeline decided to go at night. She's just dragging you along for the ride.
Yeah, I'm good with whatever. Essentially, it's
It's been a long week for Joe too.
yeah, work's been rough. So
It's always
eh,
fun having back-to-back Mondays.
yep,
Uh,
and it's gonna be that this whole week. Like I said, as
Week of
sad as it is,
Mondays.
I wish that it wasn't a short
Sorry,
week.
Brenda. Sorry,
Yeah.
Melina. The grandbabies went home tonight.
Hoi. All right. Kadeth, do you care?
No.
Okay. All right. So,
If we want to end up at the order of balance, would it not make sense to go to the order of balance?
I think that would probably, yeah,
you can do that.
be a good idea.
All right. So you head out to the Order of Balance.
We follow Cadet to the order of balance.
All right. Kadeth, you lead them over to the Order of Balance. You cross the bridge because it's on the southern portion of the city, southern side of the river. And you cross the bridge, you head over to the Order of Balance. You are greeted by Cedric, who definitely gives you a nod. Of course, you can use our teleportation circle. Um, and he takes you to the teleportation circle and will send you directly to the Order of Balance in Thrice. As you pop in, all five of you, including Buckley, you all popped in and you startle a page that's kind of there. And as soon as the page recognizes Kadeth, we'll give a slight bow and we'll say, "Welcome home."
Thank you. Um, can you tell me, are is my master here?
Yes, I do believe he's actually in the library at the moment.
Perfect.
Spends a lot of time in the library.
Well, then I will lead the way that direction.
All right.
Excuse me.
You follow Kadeth through the halls, up a set of stairs, through some other halls, through a grand hall, and into the library. There you will find Erwin in his small stature, probably sitting on a table reading a book.
I'll wait for him to notice.
All right. You stand there for a couple of minutes before he finally looks up. He goes, "Ah, Kadeth, you have returned to Thrice."
Yes, it's been too long since I've been here,
Yes,
and
but I
things
only
have
saw
been
you a few days
interesting.
ago. How goes it in Key?
Uh, could be worse, I guess. Um, some things are getting solved. Many things still need to be solved. The Lady Kara problem is one of those, but plans have been begun with that.
Well, this is good. It seems Lady Guerra has gone quiet. So,
We did publicly embarrass her, if you will.
that could explain getting out of the
She
spotlight
embarrassed
for a while.
herself. We just shone light on it.
True. But we do have a way to spy on her at least partially now.
Oh,
Something I feel could be useful for many purposes in the future.
indeed.
But I'll pull out the crystal and show him and explain how we had it set up and where it's at and all that.
He is thoroughly engrossed in it. He's you could tell that he is, he's really studying it. He says, "This is a fine piece of magic."
While Kadeth is talking, I will find a table and sit and finish the drawing.
Okay.
The copy.
Oh, the copy. Okay. I was like, pretty much finished it. I'm not sure what you're. Yes, a copy of it. Okay. It doesn't take you long to finish the copy.
And I won't necessarily mention who made it for us or anything like that, but
Okay. I'll hand the crystal back to you. It's like, could be useful. Use it wisely.
yes, I think it'll be very useful if we treat it correctly. Um, trying to remember what all I've told him and what I haven't.
You've told him quite a bit. To be fair, he was with you probably about 3 or 4 days ago in Key, and then he left to go
Okay, so
come
I
back
did
here.
tell him about uh what's his name, right? Uh our
What?
trader,
Oh, Elijah. Yes, you did
Elijah.
tell him
Yeah.
about Elijah, and he has passed that information onward.
Um so how are things in the forest to the east?
Oh, things are coming along great there. Um, that that's Ibella. She has a knack for it.
Yeah, I assumed she would. I think she was a very good choice for someone to be in charge of making sure things worked out correctly.
Oh yes, and I do believe the people there love her. She has many of their trust.
With good reason.
When I finish, I'll walk up
Um,
to Kadeth
Okay.
and hand him the paper. Not necessarily just flashing it.
you're handing
Yeah.
me a paper?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
What she hands you is the copy of the drawing that she made of the person that looks very similar to you, but maybe a little older.
Oh, yeah.
No scar,
That was something I had forgotten about.
skeletal hand.
I was trying to remember what thing I was forgetting. I knew there was something.
Sometimes I think I just talk to hear my own self speak. Because I said all of this not 15 minutes ago.
That doesn't mean I remember it. And I'll look at Erwin and basically just point blank ask him, uh, so Master, I don't believe I ever got the full story with what happened to my brother.
Ah,
What what additional what things do you know that I have not heard yet?
um, this is definitely a conversation. Perhaps you should sit. He's sitting on the table, so.
I'll have a seat.
um, is this information that you wish your compatriots to also have?
I think they, as far as I know, they know everything that I know already, and I think it's relevant to things that are going on.
Very well. And he'll motion for you guys to join him. Um,
I'll sit on the table.
okay. He'll
I'll sit
smile.
in a chair.
I'm gonna sit in the chair because I'm not uncivilized or short.
Or
Kadeth's,
short.
It's more the short part.
Kadeth's not sure if he won't break the table if he does that. All right. He begins. He says, Kadeth, when I found you, you were in an alcove in Hidden Naresh, and not quite a cave. There was probably a cave entrance, if I recall correctly. Not sure what was in it. I didn't get that far. Um, it's I found you lying beside a ritual circle. The ritual circle had parts of a devil amid the circle. Um, I found your brother in the circle, stabbed uh, in the chest with an obsidian. It is obsidian this time. Obsidian blade. Um, your, I assume your mother was probably about 15, 20 feet away from the two of you. Um, she was gone, um, burned. It looked like a fire, but it only affected her. That none of the vegetation was burned. Um, as far as I can tell, I've done some digging on this ritual. Um, the ritual was meant to call upon power of a deity, um, any deity. I don't know which, if she was trying to garner the intention of a specific deity or not. Um, but I've also learned that this ritual, it is a blood ritual. It does require sacrifice of oneself, and she seemed to have chosen her children. Um, however, this ritual must have backfired in some manner, as she was clearly dead, and as your brother being stabbed, um, he also showed no sign of life. I buried the both of them, left the obsidian blade, and brought you here.
So, to the best of your knowledge, he was dead and buried and left him.
Yes. Um, here, and he gets up, he jumps down from the table, he walks over to some rolled parchments and things like that. He pulls one out and comes back to the table, climbs back up on the table and rolls out the parchment, tucks one side underneath Fix's knee, and holds on to the other side. And he points at the Black Riage Mountains near Hidden Naresh. Just to the northeast of Hidden Naresh, he points there. He says, Here. Here is where I found you. Just to the northeast of Hidden Naresh. Um, the ritual circle and pieces of the devil and even this obsidian blade are probably long gone. It's been several years. But if you should choose to investigate that, that is where it's at.
I may need to. This
Did you identify
ritual,
him?
Do what?
Did you identify him?
Did I identify
The
the
devil.
brother? The devil. Oh. Um, the devil was a. Let me pull out my book.
That is a very interesting name for a devil.
I know. Let me pull out my book. They're getting more common. Wrong direction.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, Kadath.
it's okay. At the
The
moment, all information could be useful.
I do believe that the devil that based on the horns of the thing, I do believe it was a horned devil.
Would you recognize the horns or possibly the blade?
Uh, the obsidian blade, yes, I would recognize that, and the horns, yeah, I would recognize the horns.
I'm going to pull out the book that I got from our temple and key
Okay,
and flip it open to what I'm sure is now a relatively worn page, or slightly more worn than the rest.
it's one of those where you can just and let go of the book and it'll.
Yeah. And just turn the book to him.
uh, where where did you get this book?
This was in the library in our temple in Key.
Interesting.
I was merely doing research on blood magic to help Gidna.
I mean, we have similar books here, but it's definitely not in this part of the library. Um, yeah, this is the ritual. I'm positive of it.
Any idea how the ritual could possibly go wrong in a way that would allow my brother to have lived, survived?
If he survived, I feel like it would be against the Raven Queen. He was. I checked him. He was dead.
I will look at Kadeth.
And I'll just nod.
I'm going to open my book
Okay.
to the picture.
Okay. Which Kadeth has a copy of in his hand.
Right. But it's the book.
But it's the book. It's the book.
Well, not only that, it's the picture you drew,
Yes, the original.
It's the original. Yeah.
and I'll just motion to it to have him look at it.
All right. You turn the book toward him, and he looks at the picture, and he gets real furrowed, and he looks back up at you, Kadeth, back down at the picture, back to you.
Check out the eyes.
The eyes have it.
This looks very similar to you, Kadeth, but it's
But
off.
it's not me.
And he'll look more closely at the eyes. He'll say, "That's not you." Interesting. I checked him. He was dead. I buried him.
I'll make sure to point out the blades and the horns.
Is there?
Looking at the blade, when you point out the blade, he's like, "Yeah, it's a darker version of the one you carry, Kadeth."
Yeah.
And the horns, these are not horned devils. These are not the horns of a horned devil. These horns are from something different.
But what?
I do not know. Hey, he made it.
Aren't we supposed to
Come on.
be gathering the horns of?
He's a sharp-dressed man too.
He is. Caesarian Ranger.
Yeah, what can I say? I hate funerals.
It was a funeral, huh?
Yeah. I was leading singing in a small group.
Gotcha.
Yeah, they're a reasonable thing to dislike.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, but this is like my fourth in 3 years.
Oof.
I did the husband's funeral back in August, so this was the wife.
Yeah.
What can I say? People are
Well,
dying to get to their funerals.
We're currently in Thrice
Thrice.
talking
Currently
to
in
Okay.
Thrice.
Erwin.
All right. Well, I will take my computer with me. I have 100 things to do.
Yeah, that's reasonable.
It's all right.
I haven't had my brunch yet.
Yeah, you are supposed to be looking for a Caesarian Ranger. Their horns for this enchantment. I don't recall if he showed you a picture. I think he did describe them though.
He described them. Did it
yeah.
match the description of these?
The horns in the picture, yeah, it does kind of match that description, as far as you can tell.
Looks like we may be able to address two birds with one stone if we find your brother. I point to the horns.
Or your doppelganger.
It's possible.
Here's the question for you, Kadath. If this is an affront to your queen, are you willing and able to lay judgment upon your kin?
I would make sure first. I would want to be 100% certain, but if so, yes. It's not something I would prefer to do,
No,
but I would do it if I needed to.
sometimes you have to shove a bottle of poison down your sibling's throat.
You would know that better than most. Um,
Erwin's still looking at the picture.
what if he is alive? I feel it's for a reason, but I I can't see it being something the Raven Queen would have done or even sanctioned. But I'm not sure who else would do it.
Well, I do not know. Um, though history tells us that the Raven Queen did indeed use an undead army to ascend to where her godhood.
Yes, I know she.
So if this is some kind of remnant of
Well, and I know
this,
undead generally, as a general rule, are not something we prefer to deal in.
indeed, um,
But other than that, I also know that she is not against using whatever resources are needed to complete a task or to balance things.
this is true. If indeed this is your brother, there is perhaps a reason. There is perhaps a balancing that needed to take place.
I would think there would have to be some reason. I just think we may there may be a very good reason to figure out what that reason is.
It would be worth it. Perhaps start at the ritual site. Perhaps you'll get some answers there.
That sounds reasonable.
Sorry, I cannot be of more use in that area.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I know that a lot has happened in the last few years, even.
Indeed, it has.
And I'll let him know about the stuff with Gidna, everything that's happened there, and then what we've found out as far as um, how to protect her from the blood magic.
All right. Yeah, he will say I this is really strong magic. Rowlett is definitely the one to trust in this regards. He is stronger than most.
Oh, one other thing I was gonna talk to him about, just remembered, uh, with the sword or swords. So if this is really a picture of my brother, that sword he has, Was there originally two swords?
I I only know of one. Um, it does, however, she used the one from Velsharoon. It does say, however, when she defeated him, it was indeed broken. It does make me wonder if it had perhaps been reforged into two.
It's possible.
I only know of the one.
Which makes me somewhat worried.
Kada,
Yeah,
can I see your blade?
sure. And I'll pull it out.
Don't remember. Are we able to touch it or hold it?
Um,
Only if I don't let go.
I forget what it does. I can't remember what it
It
does.
just
It burns
goes.
or
No, it
it's
just
really
goes.
heavy.
No, because it's my packed weapon now. If
Right.
I let it go, it basically will
It
just pop
returns.
back into.
Oh, that's right.
So
Because
as
if
long
you
as I'm
lose it,
holding
it
on
comes
to
back
it,
to you.
they can touch it.
That's true.
Well, then I'll pull out my little monocle magnifying glass jeweler's kit and everything, and I'll go over it to see if I can see if it was perhaps reforged, if there's any markings or marring of it being reforged.
Roll me your forging skill.
43.
Is it
Forgery
actually only
skill.
half of a blade? Oh,
It's oh crap! It's missing half of it. All this time, I never knew. It was all an illusion.
Where is that? There it is. I think I know what my bonus is, but I don't remember. Okay,
It's
yeah, I
like a
was right.
+8 or 9 or something.
13, you mean?
Oh, geez, it's higher than I thought.
Yeah, it's quite high. 29.
29. Okay, you are looking over it, and you can definitely see where there's a very slight imperfection, and you only catch it just barely. Like it just, Kadeth kind of lets his arm droop a little bit, and it catches the light just right. You can kind of see where there is an imperfection just slightly, um, where it is possible some additional metal might have been added to it, but you're not really sure. You can't really tell if this indeed is only part of the original, but you can see that there was additional metal kind of added to this.
Well, something of this level of skill would have been originally forged from a single ingot. So there's no reason it should have additional metal added to it. While I'm only 90% sure, I would say most likely this hypothesis is true. And I'll go like into detail, like pointing out the slight imperfection and how the grains just are just a hair off, and
Slightly off.
yeah.
As if he made it.
Right. um, it's interesting. So if it was forged into two swords, it is possible then he has the other.
I'm not sure how I feel about that.
And if it was forged into two swords, it is possible that yes, your Raven Queen controls both, or since she took it from another, it could be being used by another deity. Isn't this Dance with the Gods fun? He says in like the most monotone voice he can muster.
Not sure I agree with your definition of fun, but it is
Yes,
certainly
F-U-C-K
interesting.
fun.
It is certainly interesting.
It is indeed.
Well, I feel that we have been cursed by the old may you live in interesting times curse.
Yes.
Indeed.
Whoever said that first needs to be shot.
It was the Chinese.
You are muted, Rhonda, so if you're talking to us.
Sorry about that. Does Erwin know about the cards?
Yes.
I'm gonna pull out those cards.
Okay.
I'm gonna. I'm specifically. There's 3 of them that aren't done yet.
Correct.
The void card, the rune card, and the balance. No,
Nope.
balance is complete. There's only 2.
Void.
The void card and the rune card.
Okay.
I'm going to pull those 2 out. I'm specifically interested in the rune card.
The rune card is showing a shadow of what appears to be Kadeth in a field where there are some other shadowy forms that seem to be on the ground. Can't quite make them out. They've kind of blurred their lines. You know that they were people, but you kind of can't make them out anymore.
Take out my tinkering tools and stuff. I'm going to get that little, but I'm going to look in on that small. I wanted to look at Kadeth's shadow.
You start really looking into Kadeth's
shoulders. Kadeth's shadow. I don't want to mess this up. Want to look at the shadow of Kadeth, and I'm going to look specifically at the shoulders.
Kadeth, what kind of armor do you wear? You don't wear armor, do you? You do a.
No, I think he wears
I
armor.
wear armor.
Oh, what do you wear?
Agathis?
Well, let me
Yeah,
double check.
Agathis.
That's on top of his current armor.
Oh, I'm currently wearing half plate.
Okay, you're wearing half plate. Okay. Looking at closely at the armor. Shoot, I have to pull this up. You are going to see it doesn't look like half plate. At least I don't think it does. Yeah, it does not look like half plate. Matter of fact, doesn't look like there's actually armor there. There is, there is still the shield, like what Kadeth usually carries. He carries a shield. But it doesn't look like he's wearing any armor. And as you look really closely, there does appear to be a small lump kind of on one shoulder.
I'm going to look up at Kadeth, and I'm going to point at that. The card, that's not you. That's him. And I'm going to point to the picture in the book. I believe it on this shadow. I'll say, here, take a look. I'll give him my little spectacle for looking at small, tiny things when I am tinkering.
When you go and you take a look, like, you know, where she shows you, you see it.
How many shadows are on the ground in the photo? Or in the card?
There are 2 prominent shadows. There's a few other little shadows, but there are 2 prominent shadows.
One that we thought was Kadath.
Oh no, okay, in that case 3 prominent shadows.
I'm talking about the ones on the ground.
Yeah.
There are 3. There are 3 shadows.
The
I'm
one
going to
that you
take
thought was Kadath and the other 2.
once Kadath is done, I'm going to take my my calipers out of my little thing, and I'm going to measure the shadows to see if there are differences in height.
There are.
It does look like it's taller than normal and one shorter than normal. Do they one look normal and one looks taller than normal? Using the what we now know as the brother shadow as a reference, estimating that it's the same size as Kadath.
Doing some math and probably having Evangeline aid you in this with her artificer skills. You determine that one of them is probably about, I don't know, 5'9", 5'10". One of the shadows would have been about 5'10". The other one,
Average human height.
yeah, average human height. The other one was probably about 5'5", 5'6", because I think he was shorter.
Well, neither of them are me, but
Nope, neither of them are you. Neither of them seem to be Kadath either, because Kadath is like 6'10" or 6'8" or something. 6'11".
Yeah. 6'11", I think.
6'11". Go ahead and roll me.
Taller than me.
Yeah, 6'11", because I'm actually really short for a Goliath.
I will let you choose. You can roll me history, or you can roll me investigation. They're both based on intelligence, but if you're proficient with one, that'll help you. And giving this information fix, any of you can roll this.
I am not proficient in either. But I would share the information.
I will roll investigation.
Okay.
That was an 11 on the dice for a total of 24.
24. All right. With your 24, Evangeline, as Fix begins to stat out approximately the height of these 2 shadows on the ground, you start thinking back on some of the things that you guys have done. When did the shadows appear? When did they disappear? When have they moved? You're starting to recollect and put together some of the pieces because it was an investigation check. You're putting together some of the pieces. You're pretty sure Reproot was around 5'8", 5'9". And you remember Reneo being rather short. Probably 5'6", maybe 5'7".
One we've killed. One we have done. But the rune card is related to Val Sharoon. One we've killed. One is no longer usable by him because he cannot tell a lie.
But why would they be in this person's wake?
if I'm speculating from all the information that we've collected and of making some assumptions. If the sword was broken, the sword was originally Valsharun, and the Raven Queen took his sword and became a god. If the sword was broken, Kadeth serves and wields the sword for the Raven Queen. Could his brother be wielding another part of the sword for Valsharun?
Yeah, like I said, that's completely possible, but
That
I
was
just don't
my
understand
fear.
why that their bodies are in his wake if we're the one that took them out.
We only killed one of them,
Yeah, but well, even just the one.
but if the one we killed, if Repri, we killed Repri,
Mhm.
if the Raven Queen ushers death, perhaps when we killed Repri, could it not be feasible that even though he served a different god, but they're, and you'll have to correct me, Jody, if I've got this wrong, their gods are working together for the return of Valsharun, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So in essence, they're serving Valsharun themselves. Their gods are serving Valsharun in some manner.
I mean, it can be anywhere from they literally serve Velsharoon, they're a lesser deity that serves Velsharoon. Or they could just be, hey, I'm going to get something out of this. Sure, I'll help
Yeah,
you out.
it could be conceivable. When I look at those other shadows, do we see any movement at all in this card?
Oh, there is no movement.
Okay. There's one way to test this theory. There's three more. And although I'm not much in for the destruction of Strolduck, he is serving a god that's trying to usher back Valsharu. And then there's Forsyth's friend. I can't remember her name.
Kosha?
The snowflake chick.
Isabella.
Isabella, her rock.
Rock. Who doesn't seem to have shown any hand.
I just keep collecting women.
If I had to make a guess, I would say he's making tuna salad.
Tuna, avocado, garlic aioli, pickle relish, salt, pepper, smoked paprika, and Tabasco sauce.
Look at that.
Squish it all up and eat it with tortilla shells, tortilla chips.
There
That
you
actually sounds good.
Yeah. I have it every Wednesday.
Okay. Well, we're not going to answer any questions tonight. But it does.
Well, we can always answer how much liquor we can hold.
Well, that's true.
Hmm.
Perhaps we go and see if we can't find some answers outside of Hidden Rush. Although that place really creeped me out the last time we were there.
With good reason.
Well, you have Big Bad Me to protect you.
Hey. There are some forms.
This is true.
If there are not any further questions to be asked here, would it be possible to be put up for the night?
Oh, most definitely you can be put up for the night. We will provide.
Well, when we go to our rooms, or our room, I don't care if it's one room, two rooms,
They will provide guest rooms
four
for as many
rooms.
rooms as you need. If you would each like your own room, they will give you each your own room.
Can you give Fix a room on the other side of the order?
On the other
Yes, the
maybe
other side of her room.
sure. Your back walls will be facing each other or connected. You will share a wall.
Getting used to it.
Oh my goodness.
When we settle in for the evening and I hear that rhythmic tinging on the forge.
You'll cast silence.
No, because I don't know
Go
how
to
to
sleep.
cast silence.
Spell with learning.
However, I will engross myself in the orb.
All right. All right. For the evening, Evangeline's going to be engrossed in the orb. Fix. You're going to be tinging away. What are you working on?
He's gonna ting a tong.
Ting a tong?
Yeah, he will probably be forging
Is he
away
going to ting out loud?
Ting out loud.
very loudly.
Ting
Yes.
out strong. I spent way too much years watching Sesame Street.
Sorry. What are you working on now? You finished all your major projects, I think.
Yep.
Only reason I watched Sesame Street was because Chuck wanted to.
I'll remind him that we were looking into the possibility of being able to make one of these tiny little constructs be airborne.
Ah, you gonna ting out wings?
A flying construct.
Propellers.
Propellers? Okay.
Well, for stability, we should make it a quadcopter design. Yep.
They sound different. Oh,
Yeah, they do.
4 sounds different than 1.
So yeah.
All right, so you're tinging out propellers. Got it.
And a body, things like that, for them to all fit in and go with, and making sure that it's out of obtanium so that it's as light as can be.
All right, sounds good. Kadath, what are you doing for the evening?
Probably just. Actually, no. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna basically go spend time in meditation and see if the Raven Queen gives me any insight.
Okay. All right. Are you going to actually do commune or just meditate and kind of?
For the moment, just meditate.
Okay. All right.
I don't know what questions to ask yet, so I
Okay.
won't commune.
All right. And you're not going to try to find any blood pools or anything. All right. Forsyth for the evening.
Actually, the blood pool might be a good place to do that. Anyways, maybe I'll talk to Erwin about that real quick.
Okay. Forsyth.
Okay, Foresight is going to take on the appearance of a middle-aged woman with a tiara,
Okay.
and he's gonna find the elbow bending competition.
Okay. There's probably an elbow bending competition somewhere in town.
I'm sure there is, and I will go drink them under the table.
All right. Go ahead and roll me your constitution, a constitution check.
Oh, you would want something like that.
Let's see how badly you drink them under the table. Or
Not extremely good.
yours will be
9.
better than mine. Oh wow.
So
Well, you're in luck. It doesn't take long to drink somebody under the table because I rolled a 4. Of course, you're feeling a little woozy yourself.
One
Yeah.
down.
And I will do that until I feel like I can hardly walk, and then I will hardly walk back.
Okay, I'm gonna say you're gonna earn about 10 gold betting on things. So you're gonna earn 10 gold tonight. Evangeline, you focus on the orb.
Yep.
What are you focusing on? Just
I'm gonna
listening.
just sit, and I'm gonna feel the pulses in the veins, and feel those that are closest. And I'm going to try to focus in on Erwin, correct?
Master Erwin, sure.
Is that who we were just talking to?
Mhm.
Okay.
The little gnome?
Cadeth's master.
Yep.
I'm going to focus in on him.
All right.
Because I'm really looking to. I will take what the orb gives to me, but I'm looking to follow it to the point where he found Kadath.
She has the hots for him.
Mother.
The little gnome that's probably 80 years old.
He's not as fine looking as Gavian.
I don't know how long gnomes live. I'd have to look that up.
He's so fine. Yeah.
All right. Um, so uh, you focus in on the orb. You feel the pulse. He's near. You can feel that he's near, and you know that he's near. You expect him to be near. Um, and you kind of start focusing on that and watching in the orb. And when you hone in on it, the the pulses do some erratic things at first, and then kind of shift direction. Um, and as the picture starts to come into view, you see a young gnome in a library reading books, um, sitting on tables, uh, and you kind of just watch him for a minute. He seems to be learning. He seems to be maybe possibly a page. It looks like it's in this building. Like
Okay.
he's lived in this building for
So,
most of his life, from what you're seeing.
that this is his home.
This is his home, um, and you watch that for a little bit, and then it kind of shifts, and the pulse kind of gets erratic again. Um, and later you see him for the first time. You can tell that this is the first time because he's got a little bit of a nervous apprehension, where he sits down next to um, Meryl. You recognize Meryl because you've seen him before here, and I believe he's human. But he's sitting down for the first time next to Meryl. Um, it looks like maybe this is the first time he's really joined the council. That he is a master now. He's considered a master, um, and you're kind of watching him take that. It kind of flickers a little bit, and you do see some images of him and the other masters. He's definitely more comfortable in his role now. They seem to be having discussions, maybe even arguments. Um, you notice he's standing on the table. Like he seems to do a lot of standing on tables. When he was young, he was sitting on the table. When he was, he doesn't stick to the floor very often. He likes to get eye to eye, apparently. Um, and he does a lot of standing on tables and kind of watching him. You can't really hear what's going on, but you just kind of get a feel. Um, and as it kind of flickers forward, you see him traveling. It looks like he's traveling in the mountains. He stumbles upon what looks like a ritual gone wrong. He stumbles upon a female Goliath. Uh, Definitely, yeah, you can tell that she's female, but definitely burned like from head to toe, seemingly only on the front side, like she was facing whatever blasted her. Um, and definitely not breathing. Looks like some of the flesh has even begun to decay. Um, you kind of watch him as he walks over. You see in the center of this ritual circle is a young Goliath with an obsidian blade in the chest. Um, Pale, definitely looks like he is deceased. Doesn't look like he's decayed a whole lot, but definitely not breathing. Um, and you see another Goliath kind of holding on to another Goliath baby, younger, seemingly holding on to the other one's hand. Um, and you can feel this overwhelming like sense of compassion and sadness as you you see Erwin kind of pick up the young Goliath and it takes him away, moves him away, and you start to see him using some magic to prepare some burial. He definitely buries these two uh, dead, kind of side by side.
When I start to see this, like after I seen the burned Goliath woman and stuff, and I'm moving on and seeing this, while I'm still watching this, I'm going to try to reach out to Kadak telepathically
Okay.
and see if I can share that image with him.
You reach out to him telepathically and you cannot find him.
Okay. That's a little concerning, but I'm going to keep watching.
um,
Not
and
exactly the first time I've disappeared either.
The next session, search for cadet.
search for Kenneth. Sorry, he's gone. As you
Bury him.
right, Barry. Um, he definitely buries them. He pulls out. It looks like the obsidian blade before he buries the young Goliath, which you assume is Kadeth's brother at this point. Um, he pulls out the obsidian blade and then just drops it down like on the ritual circle. Takes the child and buries them. And then he walks back over to the live to Kadeth, which you believe is Kadeth, picks him up and begins to leave. Like you see that. And then you feel the pulse ripple again. And you see little flashes here and there of Irwin and Kadeth. Every flash, it looks like Kadeth gets bigger and bigger. He towers over Irwin by the time he's 5, practically. You know, it, and so you see this kind of little dynamic. It definitely is
A
not just.
gnome raising a Goliath.
I know, right?
There's
There's
got to be irony in that.
you definitely see father son kind of antics going on a little bit, but you also
Don't want to do the
see
ironing.
yeah, you also see mentor mentee also, like he's definitely training him in the way of the order of balance. And and the pulse just ripples this whole time. It never really becomes steady once it hits that ritual circle where he saw the ritual circle. The pulse never really regains any kind of steady feeling. It just kind of gets very sporadic and erratic and uh, forward, backwards, even though all of these images seem to be sequential, but the pulse is all over the place. Um, Eventually, uh, it stops showing you images just altogether. Like
Okay.
you never reach current and you never see future. It just
Right.
eventually just stops and you
When I feel that kind of going, I am going to see. I don't feel like I maybe can. I, having seen the child, the baby, or young Goliath, and knowing the picture that I have, going to see if I can focus in on that particular Goliath that's not Kadeth.
um you go to focus in on that and you kind of see the ritual again. And then it kind of like the pulse gets kind of sporadic. It goes backwards mostly, and you see what seems like, even though he's only maybe a year or two older than Kadeth, you see him kind of taking care of a newborn, which you assume is Kadeth. You kind of see him taking care of Kadeth. Um, at some point, you kind of a flip of image, and you see the mom having laid out the ritual, um, begins to like kill, and you see the brother almost shield Kadeth, as if maybe she was going to kill Kadeth first. Um, but he seems to have protected Kadeth. You see a flash of light and nothing. No pulse, no picture, nothing.
I will draw back. I will lay my orb to the side. I'll take my quill and my ink, not the magic ink, the regular. Well, I don't need ink. Never mind. I'll take the quill and open up the book. I keep forgetting. I don't need ink. And I'm going to record in as much detail as I can what I saw in this vision.
All right.
And I also want to see if anything else pulls off of the page in regards to this circumstance, this type of circumstance, this type of ritual, or anything like that.
Okay.
I'm learning to use my things together.
I'll come back to you on that.
That's fine.
Kenneth, you ask Erwin about the blood pool. He will kind of raise an eyebrow. You've already shared with him that you've been in one.
Yep.
He'll say, okay. And he'll kind of look around. None of the other masters are around because it's getting later. It's getting late. He'll take you down to their blood pool, down in the lower level, separated from everything else, like you did not pass through this area when you came from the teleportation circle. This area is separate. He leads you down into what you believe to be the inner sanctuary almost. This is where the masters come to commune and to worship the Raven Queen in a more intimate, private manner. And he leads you through a set of double doors and down a tiny hallway and points you to the blood pool. He says, "This is our blood pool."
How does it look compared to the one I used before?
Um, a lot less elaborate. The one that you used before was more elaborate. It was an open area, kind of circular, had stairs in it, had some designs around the edge. Um, Definitely had more of a receiving area where you could do, like, you could get undressed, you could have a robe, you could whatever. This one is just in a small room, very square. No, nothing elaborate, no designs or anything, but there is a set of stairs that go down into it, and a small area, of course, where you can either undress, drop your clothes, whatever you wanted to do there. There is room to not be in the blood pool, but be in that room. It's just not as elaborate or as big.
Okay. Um, well, I mean, I'll look at him and just nod and, start getting ready.
He will give you a nod. He will say, I will wait in the inner chamber for you.
And I'll
Inner sanctuary. And he will head out to give you privacy.
just start. I'll get myself together and pull out my sword and walk in. Well, but as I walk in, I'll you
Sword in
know
hand.
get my sword in my hand and drop some blood into the pool first.
All right. Get your sword, cut your hand, drop some blood, and head in. You walk down into the blood pool. You feel like you take a breath before you go. You completely submerge. But for being this small room and this small blood pool, you keep going down, down, next step, next step. You're like, surely I've hit the bottom. Surely I've hit the back wall. Like it. You go so far that you feel like the steps would have extended beyond the back wall. Um, Eventually, as you're going down the steps, lungs start to burn, and you get to a point where you gotta breathe. You
All
want to
right.
breathe.
I'll take a breath.
All right. You begin to take a breath and you start to feel that viscous liquid, the iron. You kind of feel it start to fill your mouth, and then it's gone. It's icy cold air. And it burns a little bit. You open your eyes, you look around. There's a little bit of a red hue all over everything, but you do see in the distance what looks like a black robed figure.
I'll start to approach.
She turns. You see a porcelain face, expressionless. It looks like a porcelain mask. There's no expression. Um,
And when I get close, I'll bow.
she says, "What is it, my champion?"
I want to know about my brother.
She takes a moment. She says, "Come." And she turns and she starts to walk off. Do you follow?
Yeah.
Okay. You start to follow. You feel as though as you're walking, you're not, I mean, you're walking at a normal pace, but you feel like everything is flying past you as if you are just, it's faster than you can even run. Like you just feel like things are flying past you. Eventually, you kind of see a tapestry fly up and begin to slow down as you approach it. Um, she reaches up to the tapestry and pulls ever so gently. You notice that you see as she reaches out, she's got talons more than fingers. And she reaches out and she pulls on one of the threads ever so gently and kind of pulls it loose and pulls it towards you.
Okay.
She doesn't say anything.
I'll reach out and grab it.
All right. You reach out and grab it. When you do, you are instantly taken back to the moment you only remember in dreams. The moment that you tried to reach out, that you tried to save your brother. You felt the energy like leave you when you reached out for your brother. But your brother's hand was cold. And you remember that. And as soon as you touch that thread, you remember that. And then you get pushed out and you're looking at the thread in front of you. And it is split in two.
Hmm.
She will take the thread and move it back to the tapestry. And she kind of gently weaves it back into the tapestry.
Seeing where she put it back in, can I kind of follow where the two parts of the split go?
You can see how she's weaved in one half. The other half seems to be not visible. There's two sides to the tapestry.
Right.
Um, and oftentimes, when you weave, you see both threads on both sides. But it seems like Your half is more toward the front. Every now and then crosses back, but the other half, is never comes to the front, but it is in the back.
Looking further along, is there any way to like tell where it comes back to the front?
You see nowhere where it comes back to the front.
I'll look at her. So, how did he disappear from the tapestry completely?
She says, he is judgment.
So, is he the other side, the other half of me in a way?
Mm, you can think of it that way.
If I'm justice and he is judgment, who does he serve?
Your sword will tell. All is in balance.
Balance is certainly what we always strive for. Will I see him soon?
That is in the tapestry yet to be woven.
Does he know about me?
I'm sure he has an idea. Time will tell if it is truly balanced. You will feel yourself begin to be pushed away. You will start to feel the viscous liquid on you again.
Okay.
You're going to fight it or go to the surface.
No, I'll go to the surface.
All right. You go to the surface. Take a nice deep breath of air. During this time, Evangeline, of course, you tried to contact him and was not able to. You did not connect. Fix, you did feel Kadeth kind of disappear for a while because you have a little bit more connection than just trying to reach out to them.
That's okay. These this group just takes off and disappears from time to time. So
Willy-nilly. At least I know when you're not present.
Never without good reason, though.
Oh, well. Find out later, I guess.
if they die, well, guess we'll go looking for them.
Yep. With that, you take a deep breath, Kadeth, and you're back there. You get out, kind of clean yourself off, get yourself dressed, walk out. You do see Erwin. Erwin gives you a little nod and heads upstairs. He does not expect you to share anything, but he'll give you a nod, head upstairs, and you can follow. And at this point, we're going to take a little break because I need a bio break. And we'll be back in about 10, right? That's how long we usually go.
Yep.
All right. See you in 10. Oh, I got a countdown this time. All
Yeah,
right.
you did. All right, and we're on.
Welcome back. All right. We are in thrice. It is the evening. Kadeth pulled himself out of the blood pool and headed up. I'm assuming to bed. I don't know. Did you
Yeah.
want to go somewhere? Okay. Um, evening is upon you. You take a rest. You're going to get a long rest. There's nothing that's going to interrupt you this evening.
Oh,
Morning comes. Coach is not even in town.
yeah, I know that.
um,
Okay, I'm
nothing's
drunk
going to
anyway.
interrupt you. Yeah. And morning comes. Breakfast is served. Uh, they will resupply you and make sure you have the supplies to travel to Hidden Naresh. Um, do you plan to head out immediately, or is there something else you need to do?
Oh, pretty sure we're ready to go.
Is there a goodie store?
Yes, this is the capital of this country, so yes. It's not as big as Kiev, but it still has the amenities.
I know
What kind
there's
of
something I
goodies are you
wanted, but I
looking
can't
for?
remember what it was.
I am looking for some the dust of disappearance.
You're looking for some
Huh.
more of that. Gotcha. Um, looking at the goodie store. Um, they don't have any. Um, however, they would recommend you maybe talking to the Thieves Guild. They may have some. Or talk to so and so. They'll give you a name. I don't have a name. They'll give you directions. You recognize the
If we
place
have
that you're going.
if we have a hot second, I'll stop and see if they have some.
You have a hot second. You stop by the little kiosk that had the pendants.
Cute little pendants.
And you inquire. And he says, I have some.
What's your asking price?
Um, he's asking 10% more than what Kassoon has. Because I don't have that up
That's,
and ready.
yeah, that's fine. I'll look it up. How many does he have?
He only has one bag, which
That's
is,
fine.
I don't remember how many he charges. 3, I think, or something like that.
Where did you go? Where did you come from? Cotton Eye
Cotton
Joe.
Eye Joe. Uh-oh, I gotta stop doing that. Started dancing, wiggling my desk all over the place.
Oh, it was in my bar.
Ah, 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 ah.
Okay.
All right, you grab some dust of disappearance, and you gather together, and you head toward Hidden Naresh. You travel. Or do you try to teleport?
I think we're going to travel a little bit.
All right.
Yeah. And on the road, I will talk about what I experienced.
Okay. As you travel, Kadetha shares a bit of the experience within the blood pool. The threads, the split, the fact that the other half is never at the forefront, and is known as
So
judgment.
your brother is working for the Raven Queen, but was dead.
Uh, I think it might be a little more complex than that. And I'm not sure that he's working for the Raven Queen.
Then
I honestly don't know where his allegiances lie at the moment.
how are you supposed to find out?
Uh, find him, ask him. She said I'll know, basically.
So I think that when these deities become gods, they get taken into a training room and taught how to be vague as shit, like super vague. A master's
Actually,
class in vagueness.
actually, I think that's a requirement to get the position in the first place.
Vagary 101.
They teach you in
Yeah,
God 101.
God 101. Communication, or lack thereof.
Or lack thereof.
sounds pretty vague to me.
Vagueness, how to.
To be or not to be.
That's the title of the book, Chuck.
Vagueness, how to be.
Communication, how to not to.
How to not to.
How to not to.
To not to.
To be or not to be.
Oh,
That is something
To
you
be
must search in your soul to determine what you may need.
to be
Because,
continued.
uh,
we digress.
You have about a 4-day travel or so before you get into Cerdan's Pass. Uh, days go by, nights are quiet, no problem. You eventually get to the gate. You remember the gate?
Yes, it has worms in it.
The skeletal figures with worms. You notice that these gates are a little bit cleaner.
Somebody's been
Wasn't
doing
my
some
fault.
maintenance.
Don't look at me.
You inspect the gates. You don't find any worms. And you decide to continue onward.
Yes, we do.
All right. You continue onward, and as you get near Hidden Naresh, you remember it getting really nasty muddy. And though it is still a little muddy, it's really just kind of squishy as opposed to suction your boot off your foot. It's definitely drained some.
Hmm. I wonder, is this any of our action?
You come to the city, and though there is still black ichor in various places, it's not as thick as it was.
And this place is almost livable now.
It's
Almost.
getting there. You will see people milling about here and there, most of which have something just a little off about them. Um, kind of reminds you a little bit of Nyliesh, um, where you notice somebody's walking a little funny, and when you really pay attention, it's like they're they have 3 joints on their legs instead of 2 or whatever. They have 2 knees or something weird. You see every now and then if you catch somebody, you say hi, you kind of look them in the eye, they blink sideways instead of normal. You know, blink a little bit more like a frog or fish or blink
Okay,
sideways. I can't
then.
remember. Um, so everybody's just a little off as you walk through the city. They all seem friendly enough. They don't like.
On our trek here, did I recognize anything from what I saw? Like any location?
Yeah, you see a couple of I mean, you see the
No,
buildings as what you remember.
not from when I was here before, but what I saw in the orb.
Oh, what you saw in the orb. Not here.
Okay.
You don't see anything here. You wish to head to the northeast of Hidden Naresh, or is there anything you wish to do here?
I think we keep moving.
All right. Consensus of the group, I assume.
Yeah.
Everybody's here. It's
All
a
right.
little weird.
No worse than Nyliesh. You've been to Nyliesh.
Well,
All right.
these people here aren't trying to manipulate me.
Nope. They're just going about their everyday lives. You kind of pass on through the city. You head to the northeast. You trek up the mountain a little bit, and it's wooded. As you kind of get up into the mountain, you feel or you see the woods are getting thicker. It's becoming wooded. It's not as much um, rock, I guess I should say. Stone, rock. Um, Definitely loses some of that black ichor. Although, as you kind of head that direction, you do find a small stream of black ichor
Coming down the mountain.
coming down the mountain. You're essentially the direction of which Erwin gave you. You're following this little stream of black ichor.
Oh, that's fun. I suppose we just keep going up the mountain.
You continue on up the mountain. All right.
Yeah, we'll follow the stream.
All right.
Because that seems to be the right direction.
Yeah, it is the right direction. You follow the stream of black ichor. And as you continue to follow the stream, you eventually find your way to what looks like an alcove. You see some broken rocks kind of along the way, along the path. The stream is thin. It's not a big stream. It's not like a stream that you would like find out in the woods. A creek. It's not a creek. It is a stream, like kind of winding between rocks and between small juts of grass and things of that nature. It is a stream. And when you get up to the area, you do find. Why does Fix have a name? You do find.
Oh, why does Fix have a name?
I'm looking at Owlbear. Your cousin has a name.
When I was born, my mother determined that it was kind of necessary to label me with a name so she could yell at somebody, a specific thing rather than "Hey you" with the face. Yeah.
Hey, once you have 7 siblings, why give a name? Your name is everybody else's name.
There is that.
You don't need a name of your own.
Hey, number 7. Oh,
Yeah,
That's what Giovanni, whoever did it, thought. He
yeah,
named all
right.
of his named
Named
all of his
all of his
kids
kids
Giovanni.
Giovanni,
That's George Foreman.
as
Yes.
did George Foreman. Um, so you wind your way up in here, and you do see that it's kind of cut out. And as you break through the trees a little bit, following the stream, you do see like stairs. It looks like ruins. There's a circular carved like stonework. It's kind of circular, and toward the back side, there's some stairs to more of a raised platform. And it does look like behind that is another set of stairs that seem to go up into a darkened area. Looks like a cave. Not 100% sure. It is an owlbear. I do have it in owlbear.
Does it
Um,
look like anything that I saw?
it does. From your vantage point, you can't see the ritual circle yet, but yeah, it does.
I would like to see if I could locate where I possibly saw him burying the bodies.
Okay, that was approximately over in here, approximately. There's a little area that looks like has a little bit of a divot to it, like it had been dug up and re-put. There's a little bit of and rains and things like that have just kind of pushed down onto the loose dirt.
I am going to kind of walk that way.
Walk this way.
That's what I was thinking.
Okay. Yeah, you're gonna.
And without
That is not what I wanted
saying
to do.
anything, I will use the telepathy, the telepathic connection to more of anything to send the image of what I remember seeing.
Okay. All of you get the image of Erwin burying Kadeth's mother and brother, kind of in this location. It's a little. The image is a little fuzzy. It's not super sharp, but you can make out that it's Erwin and a female Goliath and a young Goliath, probably only 1 or 2 years old.
Does it seem that we have any landmarks that appear in the image?
What do you mean by that?
Any rocks that stand out? Any
Okay.
landmarks?
Yeah,
Marks
in
on the
this
roof.
image, you do see the circular ruins, and the stairs that kind of are
Right.
up and toward the platform. It matches this area.
All right. So positionally, based on where the stairs and everything else is, can we pinpoint a place where the actual digging would have been?
That's where I'm headed.
Yeah, you're figuring it'd be about where that white square is.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and head over there and
All right.
commence to looking for anything in the area that looks like should have been dug up,
All right.
and then
You can roll
do
me an
some digging.
investigation.
I'm going to specifically
Or give me
kind
a
of
nature check.
Nature.
show him where I
Yeah.
think I saw him burying the body of the child.
13.
All
Oh
right.
well.
And I'm going to detect magic.
Okay. All right. You detect magic. How far are you going in? Or are you going specifically to the gravesite?
I'm going to go kind of toward the circle.
Okay. How close? You can move your token. You guys have the ability to move in Owlbear. I'm gonna put you in the middle of the circle.
I'm going to get to there.
With people
Okay.
chanting around him.
With people chanting around it.
Yeah.
I'm going to
You
do
detect
it. Oh,
you
go
detect
ahead.
magic. Kadeth, you detect magic, and there's an overall kind of just feel of magic in the area, but not one specific thing is emanating magic necessarily.
Okay.
You're 13, Forsyth. You can see that this ground has been disturbed multiple times. It's not just
Okay.
one time, dug,
Right.
filled in, dug, filled in, dug, filled in. You can see that it was kind of multiple times, which is why there's a nice divot in this area, because every time you dig something out, you leave some dirt behind when you fill back in.
Yeah.
So,
Totally get that.
so there's a nice little divot.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and dig and see if there's still anything under there.
Okay, you're going to begin digging?
Yeah.
All right. Forsyth is
dig
digging in the grave. What are the rest of you doing? He's digging it. Hot diggity.
Hey, man.
Evangeline, you just going to stand there and watch? You going to cheer him on? Go, go, go.
You could always have Buckley help me.
Kadeth?
Buckley doesn't dig.
He could paw.
Yeah. Well, I could do that. I could change to
Kadeth?
something with pause.
Yeah, you could do it too. Kadeth, Fix, what are you doing? Just waiting to see if something happens?
Keeping an eye out, making
Okay.
sure that nothing sneaks up on us.
Okay.
Yeah,
Listening.
at the moment. Yeah, same. Listen, watch, wait.
Casting Armor of Agathis.
I don't. Testing armor of Agathis.
Actually.
All right. After a little while, you dig. Actually.
Oh, go ahead. I'll let you finish.
Actually. Okay. All right. You're digging. Eventually, you hit something. You brush it aside.
Right.
Just whack. You hit yourself.
Yeah.
You brush it aside, and you do come across a rather large skull.
Okay.
Probably an adult Goliath.
Okay, so I'm starting to wonder, is this actually a burial grounds for the Goliath, or is this specifically related to Kadeth? I will point the skull out to Kadeth and say, anyone you know?
Kind of looks like a Goliath.
Yeah, so do you.
I don't know if you have medicine or
No,
do you have medicine?
I don't think so. Not trained, no.
Okay.
No, me either.
It looks like an adult Goliath skull. Like, given the area, you can only assume that perhaps it was your mother. If what Irwin's told you is true, what Evangeline shared with you was true, that's your best assumption.
Right.
I'm going to keep digging down some, see if I see any more bones.
All right.
Let me
You
know if
dig
the
around a
ground
little
gets
bit
too
more.
hard.
You dig around a little bit more, and you dig for a while. You don't find anything else.
That's interesting. Only the skull is here.
Um,
I-
Kadeth,
I'm
you
going to
moved up toward
shapeshift.
the platform. Roll me. Okay, roll me a perception, Kadeth.
Perception.
Yeah.
21. Got natural 20.
Wow. Look at you go.
Oh,
You
that's loud.
see. You see. I'm just gonna draw it here, and I don't know what color. Bright blue, maybe. You see, laying in the center here. I'm gonna make it big enough that I can grab it, but it's not that big. Um, what appears to be a black stone or blackened stone that is in the shape of a knife. Seems to have a handle that looks wrapped in leather.
I'm gonna get a little closer and take a look at it.
Don't move wherever you're gonna move. Um, the rest of you, Forsyth tells you he's not finding anything else in there.
Right. I am going to shapeshift into an earth elemental
Okay.
so that I can cover ground both sideways and downward,
Oh, that's
going
smart.
through the going through the
Oh, that's not
actual
exactly
ground.
Earth, but here I'll do Earth. Oh well, that's really big, B's hand. We'll do Earth Elemental.
If I'm able to dig, it's earth.
Yeah. No, I was thinking of the actual like token.
Yeah.
All right. I'm just going to use the elemental token, even though it looks like an
Yeah.
Earth.
So basically, I'm going to go all around.
All
Go
right.
ahead. I'm
All
going to
right.
go around this area here at different levels of depth to see what I find,
Okay.
looking for bones.
All right. You go all around. The only bones that you're finding are the ones that are kind of in line with that skull.
Okay.
You are only finding the adult Goliath. You are not finding
Right.
a child.
Okay. Knowing the difference in a femur
Yep.
and hip bones, I'm going to try to determine whether or not that is a male or a female.
All right. You can roll me a. I will allow you medicine or nature.
Okay. I believe we're going to go to nature since that's one extra plus 14.
14. Okay. Uh, Looking at it, your best guess is this is probably female. If Goliaths
Okay.
follow the same path as humans, your best guess is this is female.
All the ones I've seen.
Yep.
All right. I will telepathically let everybody know that that is indeed uh, a female Goliath, most likely related to our good friend. Uh, who's our good friend? Kadeth.
Our good friend, we can't remember his name. Um, all right, Kadeth, you move closer to that obsidian blade to take a look at it. It is. It looks like obsidian, and it is kind of a dagger shape.
I'm gonna pick it up.
All right, you pick it up, and I need
Was there any magic coming off of it?
No, there is no magic coming off of it.
Okay.
But I need initiatives.
Oh,
Oh, great. Let me see if the initiative for that is any different than my initiative. Okay, come on. Earthling, well, Earth.
Good heavens.
Won't you be mine? Okay.
Good heavens. I wish there was an easier way to do this.
It is what it is. I get a 10 for initiative, which is pretty poor. I haven't rolled a number above a 9 yet today.
I got a 16.
All right, put them in there. As I remove the rest of these from the initiative. Good heavens. Okay. I don't know why all these people are on the initiative.
Oh, from earlier fights.
I guess.
Yeah, we had a big fight.
Yeah, we had a nice 2-day fight.
Okay, now I have to find us. We're up there. All right, there we go. Does Buckley have his own initiative? No, he goes after you, doesn't he, eventually?
No. Yeah, he doesn't need.
All right. Because they get the jump on you.
Well, I said I was looking around and watching for people to come and get the jump on us.
Yes, but you did not see them until they started moving. And they are both going to attempt to, because they are literally unviewable until they start moving. They're not even invisible. Like, you can't even see them with see invisibility. They literally look like they're surrounding.
Gotcha.
Well, that was not a good hit. That was only a 14 to hit you, Kadeth.
Nope.
Oh, that one's going to hit you, though. 14. That's a 22 to hit you, the second one.
Yep, that just hits.
All right. I don't know where my other 8-sider went. There it is. $19. 23 points of bludgeoning damage as one of these creatures comes flying out of seemingly nowhere and hard to see. I don't have a good picture of them online, so I'll just show you. That's kind of what they look like. They kind of give me a headache looking at them in the book.
Like a fuzzy sloth.
Yep, it is a fuzzy sloth almost, but they're quick. Comes slamming into you. It's bludgeoning damage, and you get knocked. Immediately, all of you guys see Kadeth. Oh, that is
Go
23.
flying.
23 bludgeoning damage.
Right.
Does that actually do damage to you?
Yeah.
Okay. You see Kadeth get knocked. The rest of you see him start to glow and flicker, almost matching their resonance. You start to see him glow and flicker. Um, Kadeth, you have been knocked hard and you are blinded by images and sensations from infinite planes. You are a little like bedazzled right now. No. So then we go to the top of the round. Kadeth, you are
Okay.
blind, but you know two of
Um,
these things are right next to you. So, and if you have any kind of blind fighting, it's going to negate it or whatever. You're not hindered anyway. You're just blinded.
it's actual blindness, not just
Yeah, it is actual blindness.
okay. Because I just have the dark vision where I can see through dark, even magical darkness.
Okay, yeah, no, it's not a darkness. It's blindness.
All right. In that case, I'm gonna cast Armor of Agathis on myself
All right.
as I pull out my sword.
All right. Is that your action? Is Armor of
Yep.
Agathis an action? Okay. All right. And then roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Uh, I think I'm gonna use my inspiration.
All right.
That bad.
21.
21. All
Yes,
right.
a 9 was that bad.
Wow.
Yeah.
You take three 3 points of psychic damage and 3 points of force damage, but you begin to be able to clear your mind and you are no longer blind.
Okay, so 6 total.
Right. Yes. 6 total. And
Okay,
you are bleeding. You feel blood kind of coming down your nose, kind of, and dripping off your chin. You feel blood coming down, just so you know.
okay.
Um, that brings us to Fix.
Hmm. I'm going to. What am I going to do? What am I going to do?
For wondering.
Yep.
Yeah, one of them hit him once for 23 points of damage. Just throwing that out there.
I'm going to cast haste on Kadath,
All right.
and I'm going to tell him to smack the one to your right.
Okay.
Smack him.
You get an attack as your reaction.
That's a 28. Unless I don't have like disadvantage right now or anything, do I?
No, you are no longer blind.
Okay. So 28 to hit for 12 damage.
All right. That's 12 damage. All right. Fix, is that it for you?
Oh yeah, I'm not going to get closer.
Are you sure about that? All right. It is their turn. Both of them are going to try to hit you again, Kadeth.
Leave my little buddy alone.
One was an 18, and the other one was a 13.
They missed.
They are going to also take a second attack and attempt to stab you with one of their branches. One was a 13. The other one was a 26.
The 26 hits.
Unfortunately, it was one of his branches. That's a weak attack.
Well, sucks to be him. He takes 25 cold damage.
Ouch. Was that 1 or 2? Even odd.
Some people you don't mess
Odd.
with.
22. That was the same one you hit earlier. You take 10 points of piercing damage from being stabbed by the branch. And you are. Did that go beyond your temporary?
Nope.
Darn. Okay. That is the 2 of them. Evangeline, you are up.
Alright. I will pull the despoiler,
All right.
and that is a 22 to hit.
Are you hitting to the left or to the right of Kadeth?
To the left.
Okay. 22 hits.
For 20 points of force damage.
Wow. Painful.
This, I get 2 attacks per round. Do I get 2 attacks per round with this? Since it's not technically a spell?
No. You would have to read your actual, because usually a special attack, you can't necessarily do 2 per round. This is something that your feat allows you to do.
Okay.
So.
Okay.
That would be with
unless it's
attuned to
specified.
her.
Like my dragon breath for one of my monks that does the way of the dragon. It specifically says that it replaces only one of my attacks. Yeah. In its description.
It's like a proficiency issue, isn't it?
Kind of. I'm not really sure exactly what determines what is what. Yeah. I know weapon attacks, you can do 2 attacks per round if you get 2 attacks per round, or 2 attacks per action. But most things, it'll say, as an action, blah, 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 blah. As an action, blah, 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 blah. It's not as an attack. Sorry. It's as an action, you can do this.
That is a Buckley moves.
Okay.
And he's going to do Force Empowered Rend, which is a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
For 9 points of force damage.
9. All right. They both get hit, or he gets hit twice, once from you, once from Buckley. That brings us to Forsyth.
Okay, moving 30 feet forward.
All righty.
Or something close to that. I'm going to attack the other one. And I'm going to just hit him with 2 slam attacks.
All right.
Again with these low rolls.
They're not horribly hard to hit.
Right. I'm glad I'm +8 to hit. 15 to hit.
Ooh, 15 just misses.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Let's see if I can roll something above a 10. I did.
Yay.
Not.
Oh.
So that was even worse than the other roll. So.
Okay. You're still thinking about bones.
Yeah.
These are not bones. That brings
That's
us.
It.
All right. That brings us back to the top. Kadeth, having been knocked askew by one of them, and seeing basically the infinity of the multiverse. Briefly, having a mild headache from it. You got a pretty good idea. These things are probably the distransits. It's your turn.
We need their blood, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we have to get it while they're alive.
Mm-hmm.
So you just want me to knock it out, if I can hit it.
Non-lethal damage. Non-lethal damage.
I'm gonna tell everybody that these are the things we need the blood from.
All right.
Okie dokie.
And then I'm going
They are not
to.
looking. I mean, they're hurt, but they're not looking rough by any means.
Focus one down, and then the other one we can work
Yeah.
on getting
So the one that's been hit the most.
Yeah, that's the one to your right.
Okay, I'm going to use my Hexblade's Curse on it.
Okay.
And do that as my bonus action. Good. And then cast Green Flame Blade for my action.
Okay.
So it'll hurt both of them, but
That's fine.
I don't think it'll kill either one at the moment. Let's see. So that's a. What is that? 18 to hit.
18 hits. 16 is their armor class. Just
Okay.
FYI.
I only need to roll an 8, and I can't roll
Okay.
an 8.
So
I was very sad when you rolled a 15. I was like, dang.
So was I. That was a 7 on the die.
all right. So to the main one, the first one, 16 damage.
All right.
And the second one gets 16 also.
All right. Okay, it's starting to look hurt.
I'm just remembering I haven't rolled
Oh,
a
wait, the
1 yet
second one was
today.
16.
Yeah, they both got 16.
Yep. Okay. Yeah, they're starting to look hurt. Both of them are starting to look hurt.
Are we focusing on one, or are you splitting your attacks?
Well, the type of attack I did does damage to both.
Does damage to a secondary target as well.
But I knew it wasn't likely to kill them, so I wasn't worried about it.
Fix.
Um, I'll just. He moves
hear
over
a-
here.
Cadeth,
Oh,
you
wait.
hear what?
I'm hasted, aren't I?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
you get
you
another
are.
attack.
Then a regular attack against the
first one.
first one. I forgot all about that. That's a 23 to hit for 15.
Okay. And Cadeth, you hear very faintly. You're going to be the only one that hears it. A little bit of a hiss coming from your feet, almost like a, you flick water in a vat of oil, hot oil, kind of, kind of thing. That popping, hissing sound.
Okay.
Fix.
The one on the right. Hmm. You know what? Let's just get this finished. I need a intelligence saving throw, please.
Intelligence, eh? Oh, wow, I rolled good. That's a 16.
That's a failure.
Yeah, I might not be able to pass.
Mm.
I rolled good on that one.
All right. Let's see. That is 36 points of what kind of damage is this? Psychic damage.
Okay.
Oh crap! I should have asked this first. What's its intelligence score?
Are you allowed to know? Oh, I guess it determines on that. It's a 4.
Oh, close, but
That's
no cigar. It does work.
Okay. Okay.
yeah. 3 is the magic number here.
If it is 2 or lower, it can't be affected by it. So,
Okay. It's 4.
all right.
They ain't right, right.
Yep. So for the next
And it is looking rough.
for the next 1 minute, it rolls a d6 and subtracts that number from all attack rolls and ability checks, as well as Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
All right.
And that is my
And that
my
is your
turn.
turn?
Yep.
All right. It is their turn. I'm going to do his attacks first since they're at a -6, d6, I guess.
Yep.
Oh, I rolled a natural 20. -2 is an 18.
Silvery
Plus,
barbs.
well, he's attacking Kadeth.
That's fine. Silvery barbs.
Oh, that's a 23 for him. All right, fine. Wait, that's a reroll, right?
Yes.
Do I reroll the d6 too, or just the 20?
If you want, the 20 is what I don't want you to have. The nat 20.
Well, I got the -2 on the. Okay. Oh, well, that dropped it down to a 10. That's a 13 to hit Kadeth with his first attack, which
I
is
thought
the
you said the
slam.
first one was a nat 20.
The
Or
first
did I
one wasn't.
mishear?
The first one was a nat 20.
Okay, then that
Until the
okay.
silvery
This
barbs.
is that was his slam
Yeah.
attack. Now he's going to try
Gotcha.
to stab.
Yeah, that's fine.
Oh, that's even worse. The second one is going to try to slam. Oh, which is not at a d6, but that's going to miss. And a stab. Oh, the stab might hit. 26 to hit you, Kadeth?
Yeah, that hits.
Okay. They're highly focused. You guys can see that they're highly focused. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 points of piercing damage.
Okay, it takes 25 cold damage.
All right. Did I get past your armor of Agathis yet?
Nope.
Dang it. Okay. But you are bleeding, dang it, because you took a bunch of bludgeoning damage right off the bat. All right. That is their turn. Evangeline. They are both looking rough. The one to Kadeth's right is looking really bad.
All right. I rolled a nat 20 for 25.
You gonna hit the one to the right or to the left?
We're trying to kill the one to the right and leave the other one alive because we have to take the blood while it's alive.
Well, I will attack the one to the right.
All right.
For for 37 points of force damage.
Holy crap. All right. You see it. I'm going to say in this case, it falls to the ground in a heap of stones. It's like, it looks like a pile of stones now.
Okay. All right. I will, since we're going to try to capture that one, I will tell Buckley to hold.
All right. Buckley is just going to look menacingly at it. Forsyth,
All right, I'm gonna slam him again.
you're going to slam him?
Yeah,
I don't know how.
non-lethal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you could probably do it non-lethal.
I mean, it's a slam
It's a
attack.
bludgeoning
It's just,
attack, yeah.
yeah. Okay, that's a miss. Rolled a 4.
You just have to roll an 8.
I rolled a nat 20.
Okay.
Okay, so that is going to be 2d8 plus 5, 21 plus
21
2d8.
plus 2d8.
Right. 33.
33. All right. It is looking really rough, but it is still standing. It's on its
But
last leg.
wobbling.
It is
Weebles
wobbling.
wobble.
But it don't fall down.
Yeah.
That brings us back up to Kadeth.
Beth, I have an idea if you want me to try it.
What kind of idea?
I'm going to make him hang helplessly in the air. And then we can just take the blood from its foot.
That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
So, do you have a vial or something, Kadeth?
That's usually something that other people have, so
This is true. Usually
Well,
Evangeline has it.
we can get it to you. I just need to get it in the air before we kill it.
I'll look over to Evangeline. Evangeline, you got a vial or something?
I will go over and take him a vial.
All right.
Well, we got to wait until we get him lifted in the air first.
So Kadeth is holding, basically.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. All right. Fix.
All right, I'm going to cast levitate on it. It gets a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, no, it does have a better wisdom than it has intelligence, but we'll see how this goes. Oh, that is a 16.
That is a failure.
All right. It's going in the air.
Yeah,
And high up in the air. We can
I need to
feel it
check one thing
everywhere.
though before.
I'll surround it in pink, maybe. Oh, that's really hard to see. I kind of wish these rings were a little bit thicker.
I would have had to move up to here. So.
Okay, that's fine. So you move up.
Yep. And I have him levitating there, just above Kadath's head level. So even if he kicks and thrashes, he's not going to kick Kadath in the head.
All right. Well, it is his turn. He kicks and thrashes, and blood is oozing out of him, which you're pretty sure it's blood, but it doesn't. It's not red. It looks more black, maybe almost a deep purple. Evangeline.
I move up.
You pull out a vial.
Yeah. Did you move me?
I did.
Because I was trying to move myself and I was bouncing all over the place.
Sorry. Are you going to go collect the blood, or are you going to hand it off to somebody else to collect it? It's in the air. It can't even reach Kadeth.
Yeah, no, I don't mind to collect the blood.
Okay.
I'll collect the blood in the vial.
All right. You move up to collect the blood in the vial. Am
While
I
making
beeping
weird
or
noises.
somebody else? Somebody else's. All right. You go up to collect the blood in the vial. Forsyth, it's in the air. It seems to be harmless at the moment, and Evangeline is collecting blood from it. Are you just going to hold off and wait?
I'm going to hold action until it is brought down to towards the ground.
All right.
But at
Sounds
such point
cool.
as that.
All right. Evangeline, you're collecting the blood. You've got some blood in the vial. Kadeth, you're bleeding. You hear another sizzle.
I'm gonna look down where the sizzle is coming from.
These things are lit up like none other. That thing is, they're bright. It's probably gonna flash.
What do you mean?
The ruined circle.
Oh, I'm gonna step outside of the circle,
All right, you take a step back.
and let's see.
You could probably share the space with Cadet or Forsyth.
And I'm gonna
Yeah,
tell. I'm
I'm
gonna.
very
Who
large.
is that? Who is that that was next to me?
That's Buckley.
Buckley.
I'm gonna tell Evangeline, have Buckley move out of the circle, please. In fact, actually, I want to make sure we pull that thing out of the circle too.
I'll move it with levitate when it's my turn to do so.
Okay.
All right, Fix. You can.
And
Everybody's pretty much gonna get a turn before anything else happens.
I did pick up the dagger, by the way. I
Yes,
don't.
yes, you
Okay.
did. Yeah.
Is the vial full?
The vial's probably about half full.
I'm gonna hold there until I get
All
plenty
right.
of blood.
I'm just gonna
All
move
right.
it next to her when it's my turn, so it's out of
Okay.
the circle, but it's still within her reach.
Okay. Easy enough to do. It's still thrashing in the air. Evangeline, you're still collecting blood. Forsyth, you're still
Still
hanging
holding
out,
action.
still holding action.
Yeah.
We get to Kadeth, and the runes flash, and it sends out this bright wave of light. Evangeline, you've seen this light before.
Yes, I have.
Flash of light. And when the light clears, all of you feel yourselves being kind of blown backwards. Um, a, a good 5-10 feet at least.
That might
Getting
be difficult for me.
well, okay, you might not. You actually because because you're stone earth, you might not get blown back, but you do feel the force of it. You don't actually just get blown
Yeah.
back, but you do feel the force of it.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets blown back. You manage to, Evangeline, grab the vial and keep it from flying out of your hand. And when you wake up, you look around, you see a field of blue-green grass.
Huh. I've
You
seen that before too.
you look up, you're kind of like
In
you
Kentucky.
see a pink sky.
Exactly.
You see like baby blue wisps of clouds. You start to look around, you see a few flowers here and there. You see the grass kind of blow in the wind a little bit. You see the flowers that kind of blow in the wind, but not always. Sometimes they blow against the wind. It's really weird. I don't know flowers that do that. You lay there
It's good to see the blue-green grass of home.
for a moment, and when you stand up and you kind of get your bearings about you, um, you ain't in Kansas anymore, and that's where we're gonna end tonight's session.
We're in by drawing.
you you ain't in the Black Riage anymore.
All of us or just her?
All of you. You see each
Ah,
other. You do see each other as you kind of start to sit up and look around like, what the hell was that? Um, you see each other, but you are no longer in the Black Riage. Evangeline, you recognize these colors.
So should Canap, because I shared it telepathically with him.
how
Oh
would
So
I
yeah,
he
have
can
you
woke
see
did.
the
up?
colors.
You did.
How would I have woke up?
Well, you didn't really wake up. Your eyes cleared. It was very
Ah,
bright. Your eyes had to adjust.
okay. Yeah, because I can't be put unconscious or anything like
Yeah,
that.
you're not really unconscious, but it was very bright. It was bright enough to blind you briefly. All right. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session. You find yourselves in a strange place. Evangeline and Kadeth, you've seen this in a picture. And we'll pick up from here on July 16th. And I'm pretty excited because
Joy
we're going
and
to take next
delight.
week off. So next week, all of you should probably watch the last half hour of this week so you can remember what happened for the following week.
That's probably not going to happen, but okay.
A nice thought, but
Hey,
yeah,
Yeah.
you could try.
yeah.
Put it on your calendar.
What's it they say?
Make room for it.
Nice tries finish fast.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, that is where we're going to end tonight. Thank you all for sticking with us. We'll find out where they ended up next week and who they might just run into.
2 weeks.
Well, yeah, 2 weeks. In 2 weeks. Thank you. Next
2 weeks.
session. I gotta remember that.
Yeah.
In 2 weeks. July 16th. We'll see you all on July 16th again. Don't forget, if you're in the Kentucky area, check out July 13th, July 14th. Rhonda will be at a couple of places.
Frankfurt, Louisville.
Yep, Frankfurt and then Louisville. And if you have trouble remembering that, visit our website, danddadjokes.com, and check out our upcoming events. It is in there. And there is even a place, there's a link to get to their website as well if there's any kind of purchasing of tickets or you want to check out schedules or things like that, whatever they have on their links. You can check that out. We do link that in our upcoming events page. And don't forget to check out other social medias. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, share, turn on the notifications, and join us here again in 2 weeks.
See y'all then.
See
I
you
think
then.
that's all.
Have a good night.
Peace for peace.
Good night.
All right.